Hey, it's you. How how long has it been? Like, you look good. What, you been going to the gym or something? Right, no, okay. What's up, guys? It's Jacoby. So I thought that trying to be very delicate with my phrasing, right? I thought we could discuss the whole transgender thing that's happening right now in the country. Worldwide, I guess. But at least in this country, it feels like a very charged topic, right? And I think it very easily, like, very easily can be talked about like the same way all of the like gay rights and stuff happened or went or is happening. But that's really easy, right? Because there's connections there. But I feel like there's times in our history that similar ideas or thinking happened with different races or even with different genders. Like if you look at the military, right? Well, we don't want women in the military. Oh, now it's okay. Well, we don't want minorities in the military. Well, okay, that's fine. That was wrong. Minorities and women are fine. They're, you know, that's fine. Absolutely. But we don't want gays in the military. Well, okay, that's fine. But we don't want trans people in the military. And it really feels like in a matter of years we're going to go, okay, that's fine. Right? But it does take work. Because what's the conjoining factor between all of these? They're all people and they all want to serve their country. Or take it out of the military, right? Because there's a lot more to this whole discussion than just the military. So why are some people not happy with transgender people existing, I guess? Like, it seems weird, doesn't it? That other people are going to be so focused on like what you're doing. Like, there was one comedian I was listening to, and he was talking about like how a senator seems to be really focused on gay people and trans people. So much so that like his wife owns and runs a gay conversion camp or whatever. He pointed out that like constantly thinking about gay and trans people, like the senator seems to be doing, like constantly thinking about gay people and trans people and stuff, like that's like the second gayest thing you can do, right? But why though? Some people just make up stuff, I guess, to convince other people that like, oh, the gays are bad, trans people are bad. But they're just people. They're just trying to get through their day like everyone else. And I really don't understand all of the focus and attention and vilification that happens. Because like the most common answer I hear or reason or whatever for why it's okay to dislike a specific group of people is, oh, but the children, like they had the, what was it, drag queen storybook time thing that people freaked out about. And like, why are you freaking out about this? About somebody wanting to read a book to your child? Because I think obviously you're too busy thinking about gay people to read your child a book. Is that too mean? I'm half kidding, right? But like, change it from a drag queen reading a book to a woman reading a book. Ooh. Or a black person read your child a book today. Oh no. Right? And like, another one I've heard is like, oh, well, this is just people getting brainwashed or something. Right? And it's not natural, and it's only come about from very recent times. But like, one of the things that I think it was on Reddit pointed out recently was that like the rise in all of these different groups is like kind of the acceptance level, right? Like an interracial couple, well, now I think most people would probably not care. Not all, for sure. But I think most people would go, yeah, that's fine. So now all of a sudden you're like, oh, now there's more of them. Or just gay people being out. Right? Well, now it's more accepted, so now more people feel comfortable saying, yeah, this is me. And similarly, I think that's the whole transgender thing as well, where some people initially went, yeah, I'm this way, right? And at the time, all the people around them were shocked. But now it's becoming more commonplace, so people that do feel that way don't feel scared about being open about it. But then you have senators that are trying to make being transgender or gay a crime. I mean, what's next? I think not really my place. So I'm gonna put a big I think. I assume, I postulate that a lot of black people might suggest that being black is a crime. Not all, but you could make the argument. And I feel like one of the things that a lot of people struggle with is the idea of they don't like something and it being legal, right? Like, I don't like coconut. I said it. That's a super hot take, right? But I'm not out here trying to make coconut illegal for everyone. I don't have a problem if you want to eat that nasty, stringy, ugh. Right? Maybe you're uncomfortable with the idea of two guys together, and you're so uncomfortable with it you just can't stop thinking about it. And, you know, you try and spend time with your wife, but you just keep thinking about two guys together. And obviously the only solution is to make it illegal. I think that's a different conversation that you and your wife need to have in that case. Because you might be gay. Right? But I don't like the idea of having like what, gender reassignment surgery. That sounds horrifying to me. But I don't think it makes any sense that it would be illegal, or like with abortion. Right? Which is another hot button issue. I don't like the idea of abortion, but I don't think it should be illegal, right? Just because you don't like something, why do you feel like that means it needs to be illegal? And now, obviously, I'm not talking to you, right? To the viewer, because you're reasonable. But to our senators, to our representatives, to our congresspeople, to our past, current, and future presidents, Like, there's a big difference between it makes me feel uncomfortable and the government deciding you can't do this. Because even if the government says you can't do this, guess what? People are gonna. That's how it's always been. That's how it will continue to be. And I don't know, maybe the people making these decisions just, well, okay, realistically, 100% they're hoping that making it illegal means that they'll have to do it some shady way, and there will be either side effects or risks or whatever associated with it that now people don't want to do it, whatever that thing may be. They don't care if you're trans, right? They don't care if you want to get gender reassignment surgery. They don't care if you do get the surgery. All they want is, to put it bluntly, they just want to make sure that if you get the surgery, there's as high a likelihood as possible that you just die. Because then it looks scary to other people who aren't as brave and aren't ready to undertake that process or whatever. Or if you want an abortion, if you need an abortion, like, people are gonna find a way, right? And those people in places of power that want to make it illegal, they understand that. People will find a way. But they want to make sure that it's as dangerous as possible for you to do it. They don't want it to happen because they think it's icky or weird or makes them feel grumbles in their tummy. So they want to make sure that they make the likelihood as high as possible that you will have some sort of detrimental setback if you want to do the thing that they don't like. But that's just a theory. A game theory, right? Yeah, who knows? Maybe I'm just being cynical. But on the other hand, you can look back in history and go, oh, when they say, like, it's a new thing that's happening, like, okay, and I know cross-dressing and transgender are different, right? But like, it does, at least to me, feel like people got more okay with cross-dressing, and then specific individuals saw that and went, oh, okay, it's safe to say, like, yeah, this is how I feel more comfortable. And then, okay, I actually do identify as this or that. Because, okay, like, for example, if you go way back in our history, you can look at movies like She's the Man or White Chicks, right? And it comes across as like if you act this way or if you are like this, then see how all the other characters in this movie act? You can feel accepted, which is fantastic, right? Because I don't think anybody wants other people to not feel like accepted or seen or whatever. Okay, there are definitely people that, for whatever reason, they don't want people to be heard or seen or feel accepted. But for the majority of people, I think that's the case, right? For the majority of people, maybe there's like a weird little kid that's getting bullied, right? Because he's colorblind or something, right? I think most adults would go, well, no, that's not right. That's just how he is. He shouldn't get bullied for that. That's just how he is. Yeah, but guess what? And I was joking, by the way, about the way back in our history to She's the Man and White Chicks. But you can go back to, like, Rocky Horror Picture Show or Some Like It Hot, right? And I'm sure, I'm 100% sure there's a bunch more examples. Those two were just off the top, right? But like, okay, you want to go further back? How about all of the different plays? Or honestly, TV shows as well, right? Famously, the voice actor for Bart Simpson is a woman. Oh, but she pretends to be male. Better make that illegal. Or, boy, it'd be a lot more convincing if I could remember more of these details. But the live action Peter Pan was Mary. I don't have any guess on the last name. But okay, that's still fairly modern, right? So go back farther. Look at all your plays. For a long time, didn't they only have white men and boys as the actors in the play, even if they had women or black people as characters? Oh, you wanted to go further back. Okay. Well, I mean, they have plays like back to Greek and Roman and Egyptian and Assyrian, but you want to go back farther than that. Okay, I will admit I will have trouble producing evidence further back than like the Fertile Crescent Babylonian era. Sorry. But also even like, and I'm biased, right? But like Norse mythology has multiple stories where usually it's Loki, but Loki is considered like gender fluid generally, right? So like one story, Thor gets dressed up as Freya to try and trick the giant Thrum, and throughout the story it'll still say, and then Thor disguised as Freya did this, then he went and did this, and he would do that. Whereas with Loki, he was going to go along as well, pretending to be Freya's handmaiden, right? But Loki is referred to as she when they're in the giant's home or whatever. So Thor grabs a haunch of meat and he eats the whole thing in one bite. Loki grabs 5 grapes, but she only eats 2 of them. And like, it's not ambiguous. It's very like explicit that Thor, before they go to the wedding, is male, and Loki, before they go to the wedding, is male. When they're at the wedding, Thor is male, Loki is female. Like, it doesn't go back and forth, it doesn't change, this is full stop. Or another Norse mythology, when the Aesir hire this guy to build a wall for them around Asgard. I mean, not to spoil it, I guess, but Loki, I am trying not to spoil it actually. Loki gives birth to what will become Odin's horse, right? I don't know many men that give birth, right? But at other times, like, he has children with a female giant, Hel, Jormungand, and Fenrir. He didn't give birth to them. So I guess when I hear people say it's a new thing, like, okay, for plays, you don't think women are smart enough or something, or black people are smart enough, okay, you're wrong, but okay. But to have these ancient stories out there, right, that these stories were told for generations and just accepted as like their people's mythology or folklore or whatever word you want to use, I mean, that tells me it was kind of just accepted, right? It's not weird, that's just the way it is. And in the stories, none of the gods are like, bro, why do you do that? That's weird. You should be illegal. It's just that's you. this is you, this is me, we're different people. It doesn't matter how I feel about it. That's you, and this is me, right? Anyway, I think I've said about all I need to say about this. I imagine people will want to sound off about this. So if you have any questions, comments, leave them in a comment down below. If you enjoy this type of discussion, give me a like. And if you want to get notified when I put out the next one, go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you can know when I put out the next episode. But until next time, guys, thank you for listening, and be safe.